Hey lovelies, it's Ebony and I'm back with a new video for you guys. I'm gonna first start with a clean face and add my pretty fitter. It's too early to be making mistakes. My pretty fitter water gel cream. It just helps to keep my skin moisturized and nice and like plump underneath my makeup. And once I have that applied to my face, I'm going to go ahead and add my primer, and I'll be using the Dr. Brandt, what does that say? Luminizer primer. Or yeah, luminizer. This is only my second time using this primer. I got it in my Ipsy box and I just decided, I'll try it, see how I like it. And honestly, I don't really know how primers make a difference. Well, I do actually. It helps the makeup to apply better. I always make the mistake thinking it's going to stop my face from getting oily. But moving on to color correcting, I'll be using the LA Girl Pro Concealer in Orange to cover up those acne scars on my face. My skin has come a long way from this time last year, but these acne scars are kind of stubborn. The one on my cheek is starting to fade a little, but those ones on my forehead, they just, I don't know, they refuse to move. Now for foundation, I'm going to continue using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Foundation in 440 along with the Fenty Beauty Concealer in 410. I need to mix those together in order to get like my perfect foundation shade. And yeah, this seems to be working out pretty well for me. So that's what I'm going to use. Eventually I will get a new foundation, but right now I'm just going to use this until it's gone. And by the way, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's raining really bad where I'm at right now. So if you hear any crazy noise in the back, that's just the rain pounding against my windows. It's been raining all day and it's like crazy, but I needed to get this voiceover done. And if you notice, I don't put a lot of foundation on my face. I like to work more with powders because I feel like my skin doesn't dry out with the makeup. It tends to get more oily as the day goes on. So I like to do, liquid foundation, but powders work best for me. So I like to focus and really prioritize powders. Next, I'm going to use this Pixie Glow Mist Spray. It just helps to keep my skin hydrated because I do like to use powder foundation more than a liquid. So it just helps to keep those wrinkles away from my forehead. If you watch my last Get Ready With Me video, you'll see that I had a big issue with that. So that mist really helps keep those wrinkles away. Now for my eyebrows, I still use the Benefit Cosmetics Goof Proof brow pencil in shade number 5. This is my favorite brow pencil ever. It's so soft and it lasts so long and it's easy to work with. And like I always say when it comes to doing your brows, just start with a light hand because it's so much easier to add product than it is to take it away. And take advantage of the spoolie at the end of these brow pencils because a lot of times there's plenty of product left over in them and it's easier to work with the spoolie than build up to the pencil. And to clean up my brows, I'll just be using that same concealer from Fenty Beauty to make everything come together. And what I like to do to not make my eyebrows look so boxy is just kind of like curve those angles right at the front of my brow. Because it's so easy when you're using an angled brush to just create these straight lines that sometimes it can make your brows look boxy. But I like to have just a little bit more of a rounded, I don't know what that part of the brow is called. I just know I don't like it to look boxy. So I try to round off those harsh edges in the front. It's so funny to me how I wear my brows now because back when I was like in college and high school, I wanted my brows so thin. I thought thick eyebrows looked crazy. And I look back at old pictures of myself and the way that my brows were waxed, like what? There was almost nothing left. I will never go back to that. But who remembers thin brows? I don't know if anyone wants to admit it, but just let me know if you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, I will be locking in these brows with the Wonder Beauty Brow Gel in clear. Very simple and to the point. And to conceal under my eyes, still using the Fenty Beauty Concealer in 410. If you guys haven't tried this concealer, I highly recommend you do so. I love this concealer. It blends out so easily and there's just so many shades to choose from. And to prime my eyelids for eyeshadow, I'll be using the P. Louise Eye Primer in Rumor number 4. A little truly goes a long way with this product. Probably less than a little, like a tiny little bit goes a long way with this product. So I'll just put that all over my lid and blend it out with a dense makeup brush. I'll only use this eyeshadow base when I am using bright colors. When I want a more natural look, I'll just use regular concealer. But because I'm using colors today, it's just best to use this because it helps the color pop that much more. You don't have to work as hard to make the color come through. And you always want to remember to make sure everything is blended out as best as it can be, because once you put the powder on your concealer to set it, any type of crease or smudge or whatever is going to set with that powder, and it's just not fixable. You'll probably have to start over. Even though I hate blending, especially with the beauty blender, it works my arm so much. It's definitely worth it to do it. And you probably guessed that I'll be using the Fenty Beauty setting powder in Honey. I'll be using it to set my under eye as well as my eyeshadow primer. I remember when I was first learning to do my makeup, I used to apply the setting powder under my eye with my beauty blender, and it just never gave me that clean look that I was looking for, like that flawless look. And I couldn't understand why until I used a dry makeup sponge. And I think the water in the beauty blender was really kind of messing with the textures and the finish of the setting powder, so my skin just didn't look like I needed it to look. And I just used to think, why does everyone carry on with these setting powders? It doesn't do anything for me. Turns out I was using it wrong. Now to set the rest of my face, I'll be using the Cover FX Pressed Mineral Foundation in the N90 shade. And I know set is kind of like interchangeable in this situation because I'm not necessarily setting the liquid foundation with the powder foundation, but that's the easiest way to explain it. It just gives me that matte look that I like. It keeps my foundation from creasing. It blends in the setting powder that I put under my eyes because unlike many other people who bake, I don't wipe away that setting powder under my eyes. I actually blend it into my skin to further set the foundation under my eyes and to help give that flawless look. And to help give my eyeshadow nice clean edges, I'll be using a little bit of setting powder just along my lash line to help everything look symmetrical. And I'll be using the Huda Beauty Amethyst Obsessions palette, and I'm going to be using that pink color right in the top right corner. And I also added a little bit of setting powder to my under eye to help get rid of any fallout that I might get while applying the makeup. Now I'm going to take that pink color and apply it all over my lid. Now I know the setting powder is not going to give me like super straight lines as far as keeping the shadow from getting all over the place, but it definitely helps to keep it contained. And I don't really like those sharp lines that sometimes you see with eyeshadow anyway, because it's good for some things, but I want a more blended, wearable look. So it's easy to blend those edges out when I have a little bit of a barrier there created by the powder. And by the way, I know Huda, I can never say it, Huda Beauty products are pretty expensive, but these eyeshadow palettes are highly pigmented. They blend very easily. And for someone who's still trying to learn makeup, which is me, it really comes in handy. Like those little palettes that I get, I think they were like $29. They can definitely get more expensive with the full size palettes, but I feel like it's worth the money because I'm able to create the look that I want easily, and the colors are pigmented. So I feel like I'm getting my money's worth, especially when I was buying makeup palettes before that just were not good quality. I didn't know they weren't good quality. I just thought I couldn't do my makeup. So I would just leave them on the table for months, years, whatever, and just never go back to them. That's wasted money. But when you are trying to learn and actually see how to blend these shadows together and what works for you, there's nothing like a good quality palette. Now I'm adding that dark purple to the crease of my eyelid. I do wish this color was just a little bit warmer. Overall, I feel like the look turned out pretty good, but this was the only thing that kind of was nagging me at the end. I wish it was a little more pink or something. It just was just too cool, but I made it work in the end. But crease colors can be tricky, at least to me. Like for so long, I couldn't understand like, what color do you put in the crease? What is the crease about? And from what I've learned throughout the years, it just is about creating depth so that you don't have that one shade going past your eyelid into the under the brow area because it looks too flat. You need something to deepen the color and make it look like there is depth and realness, like you are a person in real life, not a piece of paper. Hopefully that helps, because I used to watch so many makeup videos and tutorials, and it just was never really quite explained in a way that I could understand and know like what color to put in the crease. Everyone wanted to focus on the lid, the glitter, and this and that. Like, but what is the crease about? What is it? And I also learned that you really have to take your time and blend these colors together. That was something I always felt was never really talked about enough in makeup tutorials, is how much time it takes to blend to make these colors look seamless. I used to take not enough time, and I just thought I couldn't do my makeup because I just didn't know. Now I'm going to take my Nomad Berlin Underground eyeshadow palette and use the one color I always use, which is that brown color, and just use it as my transition shade. I especially wanted to use this color today because, like I said before, I felt like that purple was just a little bit too cool. I don't know if this brown made a difference, but in the moment it looked better to me, so that's what I went with. Once I have the transition shade applied, I'll go ahead and grab the first palette again and use that pink glittery color right there in the center to put in the corner of my eyes. This is something that I feel like I have a love-hate relationship with, because putting glittery or shimmer colors in the corners of your eyes, to me, can sometimes look a little messy, but I still love it for some reason. I don't know why I fight it, but I know why I fight it, but I still do it anyways. It's really crazy. Now moving on to my lower lash line, I'm going to go ahead and apply that same purple that I put in my crease to my lower lash line, and this just helps to make the look more interesting. Like, I used to never do this because I thought it was extra and it looked good on other people, but I just felt like it's too much for me. But now it's one of my favorite parts of this whole process, because you can really change your eye look just by adding color to your lower lash line. And as you can see, I'm applying that same pink color that I put on my lid right in the beginning front part, whatever, of my lash line, my lower lash line. It warms up that purple color a little bit, and it just looks good. Clearly, I was having a good makeup day today. Now, I went ahead and put a little bit more pink on my lid. Somehow, I always lose the color. I guess it's all the blending. But now I'm going to go ahead and contour and use the Black Radiance True Complexion palette. As you can see, I only use one color. And I just gently go over the perimeters of my face, as well as right underneath my cheekbones. This is not something I go hard with. I don't harshly contour my nose because I just feel like I don't want to look so different with my makeup versus without my makeup. And now I'm taking that same big fluffy brush that I use for my powder foundations just to help everything blend and come together naturally. Next, I'll be grabbing the Juvia's Place Saharan Blush Volume 2 palette for blush, and I'll be mixing those two colors together. I really like that orange color, but I decided to just add a little bit of pink just because, you know, I've got pink and purple going on today. Then for highlight, I'll be using the Huda Beauty highlight palette that I always use once I get my fingernail out of the product. And I'll just take a little bit of that and put it right underneath my brow, as well as on my cheekbones. I think I use Barbados and Bora Bora. It's kind of like a rose goldy golden color. This palette is also a Huda Beauty palette, and it's just another good quality. The Barbados color, if you put it underneath any of those other colors that's in that palette, it intensifies it way more. For lashes, I'll be using Lily Lashes in the style of Brooklyn. And if you haven't noticed, I definitely went and put on my mascara and eyeliner and everything because it's too much to put on camera. The video is already long enough. You guys got the point already. Now for lips, I'll be using NYX in Deep Purple as a lip liner. And for my actual lipstick, I'll be using ColourPop Liquid Lipstick in Beeper. Now I definitely go back and forth with these two because I like to create that ombre effect. So a little bit of liner, a little bit of lipstick, a little bit of liner, maybe a little bit more lipstick. And to make it juicy, I'm going to be using So Juicy by ColourPop in Beechwood. It looks more nude in the tube than it does on my lips. It actually looks a little bit more pink. I didn't really like that. I mean, I was okay with it because it matches the look at the end of the day, but I'm definitely more of a nude girl. Now to set everything, I'll be using the famous Morphe Continuous Setting Mist that just smells and feels so good. And this is the final makeup look. Now, time to do some hair. Now at this point my hair has been straight for almost 2 weeks now, and a lot of people always ask me like, how do you wear your hair? Do you wear it down all the time? This is how I wear my hair like 80% of the time when I'm in the house, probably more like 90 actually. I wear it in this one single braid. I don't normally do a bunch of like satin scarves and 2 bonnets and everything. I had just gotten out of the shower, and that's how I put my hair up for when I'm taking a shower. Now that I have my hair out of the braid, I'm going to go ahead and add the Thermal Wonder Heat Protectant. That's also a smoothing serum, softens my hair, makes it shiny. It's like all these great things in one bottle. That's why I love this so much. And every time I wear my hair straight, this is what I use to kind of calm everything down, make it shiny, and just bring it back to life. And that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, go ahead and give me a big thumbs up. Try not to lean against tables that aren't steady and almost bust your butt like I just did. Share this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. And as always, thanks for watching.